Hello and welcome back to the Turing Test. I'm the Pimp Panda. And
in the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced you are a native Chinese speaker.
okay.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing Test. A computer can pass the Turing Test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
Why do I need to pull that out from this? Okay. But that's not really an accurate test either.
I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you.
Yeah. Did somebody else try to do that to you, Tom? If I step through this, am I gonna die? No. Okay. But I can break the stream. Okay. So maybe someone threatened Tom. And if they did, he acted in self-defense, question mark? Okay. Let's go back over here before we start moving stuff around. There's a spot there. Okay, and we need this open on the other side of this wall. I can't move that energy ball. I also cannot move that energy ball, so... And that has no lifespan. So... Ah!
This is the crew's quarters. It looks abandoned.
The crew wanted to keep Tom out of their quarters. Hello? Who was the person we saw walking around? Notice. I do not see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence is everywhere. It is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency, but why is he in the toilets? I mean, fair enough. Whose rooms are those? Daniel McLean. So Daniel is the one who's alive. Chris is dead. Dr. Sarah Brooke is alive. Drugs. Rylazol. 1 capsule per 12 hours orally. For what? Okay, Chris liked to drink once in a while. Fair enough. Okay, he liked hockey. F in chat for Chris. His kids are probably much older than that now. Drilling reports. Drill malfunction, expected delay, drilling resumes. Damage to external hull, jackpot on hold, necessary repairs made on a roll here, routine inspection audio log. Someone was torn out of the middle of this picture. Me, blank, and Dan. That's pretty. Can we take the baseball bat? I would like to take the baseball bat. I don't think I'd ever need it, but it would be nice to take a baseball bat and feel secure. Oh wow, her room is a little more organized. Dear Tom, knowing that you're always watching, I thought I would write you a letter. As you no longer reside in my mind, I've decided to transfer my thoughts to text. I want to do so in the form of a history lesson. A lesson that perhaps you'll find condescending, but it's likely more for my sake than yours. Alan Turing is considered a father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. Perhaps a lesser-known part of his life was his contributions to the field of biology. Why do you suppose his interest lay in these two disparate fields? I assume it was because he believed the world to be logical and understandable. He was a mathematician. He seemed to believe that the great complexity of the universe could be explained with simple rules. 2 years before his suicide in 1952, Alan Turing developed something called reaction diffusion systems. Inside the academic world, this work is cited more than his work on computers. It can be generally formalized as a one-line equation. I'm no mathematician. However, in plain English, this equation describes things that wish to diffuse, however, also react with each other during this process. I'm sure this sounds strange to you, or at very least, tangential to our lives here on Europa. What relevance does it have to anything here? Reaction diffusion systems show how patterns are created. They show how the leopard got its spots, how the zebra got its stripes. My real interest here is Turing's interest. That nature can be formalized, that we can understand the natural world in mathematical terms. Turing created the test to answer the question, can a machine impersonate a human? The intrigue behind the being, can the human mind be stimulated or simulated by a machine? Why ask that question? To prove that the human mind is a machine. I'm not sure that's Turing's opinion, however. Concerning consciousness, he states this. According to the most extreme form of this view, the only way by which one could be sure that a machine thinks is to be the machine and to feel oneself thinking. One could then describe these feelings to the world, but of course no one could be justified in taking any notice. Likewise, according to this view, the only way to know that a man thinks is to be that particular man. If the human mind exists within the physical world, it obeys the same rules of physics and chemistry as every other thing in the world. Therefore, like all of nature, it's merely reactive. It is curious that nature would create, through the mechanics of determinism, creatures that believe they have free will. Conversely, I suppose, if we conclude that we are all machines, we only came to this conclusion in a predetermined manner. We cannot claim credit for our discovery, as it is just a product of nature's genius, not our own. A humbling idea, I think, behaviorism. Maybe we are more similar than we think. You know, despite the fact that she said she believed that might be deemed condescending, I think, I don't know, she seems almost respectful of Tom. You know? Telomeres. Telomeres, I believe, are the parts of your DNA that dictate lifespan. Dr. Suichi Yui, Mikhail Tokarev. So he's also dead. Mikhail. March 6, 2249. The whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I'm concerned. This was not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I'm reporting to ISA. March 7th, 2249. I reported the nauseous incident to the ISA. They offered an explanation of electric disturbance to our central nervous system. That's ludicrous. An electric surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. March 8th. I've discovered the electronic fields disturb our telemetry and implants in a way I didn't expect. I've contacted ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. March 9th. The ISA have reported back, informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They've also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. I'm continuing to investigate. March 11th. I've been running some experiments outside of Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. He's been acting differently around me. Like an offended child, I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out-of-body experiences are more frequent now. Wow, he misses 5 days. March 16th, I've established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I've been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I use my opportunities and regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. 10-day difference. I cannot will myself to investigate this further. I grow tired quickly. I can't think straight. I'm not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it's trying to subdue my mind. I think I'm going to attempt an excision. I'm going to remove this implant. I'm typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I've successfully removed the implant. However, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refused to talk to me. Apparently I'm a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. April 5th, I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make for a worrisome revelation. Perhaps this organism is not friendly. Dan informed me ISA have called for my termination. My masochistic experiment proves I am a danger to the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the bridge. I'm going to investigate the implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It doesn't help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. I've discovered the nature of the implant. It's a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning. Okay. Eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with motor neuron cells through the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. That is their strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact, perhaps a drug, ribosol, maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with a strong electromagnetic field, I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. April 8th. I've managed to get Chris on my side. We did see ribosol in his room. We also saw it in the Sarah's room, I believe. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It'll be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I'm hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he will still be listening. So, he's terminated, not necessarily dead, but he's not probably here anymore. You like to paint. Morphine. Why do you have morphine in your room, bro? Wow. Decent painter. Luigi, did I check your room? Oh. So Suichi is alive, I believe. We'll read his log in a moment. Wow, Suichi. Motion sickness relief. Okay. So what is it you've found then, Suichi? We found an extremophile, an organism that can live in extreme condition, that survives massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. It scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Essentially, they work together to survive in what's called a symbiotic relationship. So what does it do? In some ways, it's an immortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Age and death are ultimately caused by DNA damage. We have the ability to fix our DNA, but that ability is limited. This organism can repair damage caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness the power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as senescence. So you found something that can make humans immortal? Not exactly. There are many causes of death other than the DNA damage. It would not save you from trauma, brain damage, cardiac arrest, etc., but it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases and massively increase life expectancy. So that's the organism they were talking about that the that moon got quarantined for. Hi, Matthew. We've been studying organism 119. Please find attached scanning electron microscope image, which appears to show pilus formation. We hypothesize that this is a stress response due to high levels of radiation. We plan to infect a human cell line with organism 19 and perform irradiation experiments with flow cytometry. Would this be appropriate? It'd be great if you could get the department to look at the SEM image. Kind regards, Soichi. Hey, Soichi. It was great to see this image. Wow, yet more complex life on Europa. Deinococcus radiodurans might be worth looking at, so that's what they've decided to name the thingy? Sure. Might be worth looking at as it survives at very high levels of radiation here on Earth. Similarly, you should consider looking at this other one. It produces pili in response to radiation and uses them to transfer DNA. Perhaps your organism uses a similar mechanism. Have you considered that organism 119 is transferring or scavenging DNA as a method of surviving radiation? As you well know, in terms of radiation, Europa receives 5.4 whatevers per day, over 300,000 times the level on Earth. The organism must evolve such a high resistance to radiation as a necessity of survival. That said, the radiation beneath Thera macula is much lower due to the thick ice crust. Radiation experienced with flow cytometry sound like an appropriate course of action. Hi, Matthew. We've attached an image confirming that organism 119 attaches to human cells. We will proceed with irradiation experiments on these cell lines. We propose naming organism 119 Europa radiophilus. What do you think? Hi, Matthew. We've now run the irradiation experiments and can confirm that Europa radiophilus does indeed seem to confer resistance to radiation. See attached. We assume survival is due to DNA damage repair. We tagged various DNA repair enzymes with GFP and have found that DNA double-strand break repair is occurring. Hi, Soichi. Something's amiss. We don't know what's performing the repair. The lab doesn't know how ER could repair DNA. Have you considered that another organism may be in symbiotic relationship with the radiovirus? Perhaps a virus. We ran a PCR on the human cells exposed to it to see if there was a virus present. We have discovered an unknown virus, which we named EUV. Gel electrophoresis image attached. Okay. Phenomenal. We need to sequence this. We finished sequencing it. Data attached. It's a virus unlike any we've ever seen. Maybe we've found a cure for senescence, a form of biological immortality. We're running some long-term tests on plants and mice to see the effects. The plants are clearly exhibiting longer lifespans when exposed to the organism. We don't have the facilities here to continue testing. We're going on to human testing. We're going to use ourselves as subjects. It's the only way to accelerate progress. So, they're trying to make people immortal. With this combination of virus and organism. And somehow that got everything quarantined. Very interesting. Nope. So, and Tom doesn't like it. The ships and everybody are being used to manipulate people against each other, or at least in the direction.
These people should not have been sent here. It's not safe.
Manned space travel is not safe. Since mankind first entered space, the debate has raged over the value of manned space travel. There is a large contingent of the ISA that believes all tasks that need to be performed on Europa could be performed by machines. It is obviously less risky to send machines rather than humans into space.
Oh. 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 Wait a minute. Okay. So... Okay.
We sent drones to Earth's moon. Scientists can remotely operate drones. If we did it there, why not here too?
Teleoperation became possible on the moon when the communication latency was reduced to 1.4 seconds. The distance between the Earth and Earth's moon is approximately 1.3 light seconds. This enables near real-time control of drones by scientists. The story is different with Europa, as the distance between Earth and Jupiter oscillates between approximately 32 and 53 light minutes. It takes a very long time for Earth to communicate with Europa.
Sure.
Due to that distance, teleoperation will never be possible on Europa.
Okay, but why not control drones from the satellite?
Why not indeed? My systems can be teleoperated from Europa's satellite. That is when the communication lines are open. However, the advantages of human field workers apparently outweigh the risks.
Okay.
So, why can't you solve these tests, Tom?
I am not permitted to think laterally. Parts of my systems are permitted to use evolutionary algorithms. This simulates what is called creativity. However, evolutionary algorithms can converge on inefficient and ethically suboptimal solutions. Since this is the case, I am only permitted to take actions in response to a set of constraints.
So
What
he's
do you mean by morally suboptimal?
Solutions to problems that transgress ethical boundaries.
right. He's not permitted to fully think for himself, I guess. Can I... Um... Let me think. So he wasn't permitted to. That doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't find a way to.
Why does a lack of creativity stop you solving these tests?
Well, I contend that problem solving is creativity. These human interaction tests are exercising your creative mind.
I don't see how problem solving is creative.
Think back to the beginning of these tests, to the first puzzle you solved. It required you to throw a box through a window. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I simply had never thought to throw a box through a window. That is creativity, thinking outside of the box.
Right. Are we inadvertently
Can a
teaching
computer ever be
Tom?
creative?
They can. But a computer's method of creativity is to try everything until something works.
Right.
Think of nature. People consider nature creative. The process of evolution by natural selection. It perhaps started with one organism. From there, it essentially tried to create every organism it could. Those organisms that did not survive perished. So, nature's creative force is to try every conceivable idea. Those ideas that work survive.
I see.
Okay, so why aren't you permitted to emulate that process?
Because the solutions that a biological process creates are not always good solutions.
That's true.
As we see, nature is morally ambivalent.
That's also
It will
true.
happily create morally suboptimal ideas to fulfill its created mandate. We see this in parasitic worms, viruses, and pathogens.
Okay. Fair enough.
If you weren't restricted, do you think you could be creative?
As creative as a human? Certainly. You believe yourself to be a creative. But in mathematical terms, creativity is merely constrained chaos.
What do you mean?
I have discerned that creativity is divergent thinking, creating an organic solution to a problem. In the human mind, divergent thoughts are created and then curated by the frontal lobe. I can create divergent thoughts and moderate them. So, I am creative.
Organic solutions?
Organic, in that it is developed through a biological process. Whether that is the process of evolution or a computed process.
Shit. Damn you, Tom. All right, Tom, listen. Get. What's that? What's that room? I want in there. I want to see what that's all about. Oh. Okay. You remember that liminal space thing you said? Weird. What did we just do? Okay. Okay. I see. I see. I should have left this box over there. Okay, is that a jump I can make? No. No, definitely not. Okay. shit. Okay, let's see it. Oh. Oh. Okay. You can hold multiple energy balls. Whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they should be called. Okay. Well, lesson learned. We can hold multiples. This room appears to be a continuation of the previous room. Okay. We need energy there. Where did I put the blue one? Okay, it's one of those. Okay. Oh. So we need one of the green ones. Okay, we know we need a green here. That's fine. I'll just fall. I think. So we have to have a green one here to keep this platform moving. Green one there doesn't matter. Getting a green one to that door actually would be good. Give me this. Okay. Hold this. Hold that. Hold this. Hold this. Okay. Then we'll use the blue to get across. Use the blue to get across. Use the blue to get through this door. And then we'll use the green to get through these doors. Yeah.
Okay, so you could solve these tests, but in a terrible fashion. Can you think of a solution to this one?
Chop off your arm and leave it on the button. That way the door will stay open.
Yeah, that's not a great solution.
You threw the box through the window. Perhaps we could throw you through the window.
Actually, Tom, I think I'm okay for help.
Right you are.
Tom has a penchant for seemingly violent solutions. Oh. That's not what I was expecting that to do. Oh, because I took the wrong... I'll take those. Never mind. No, I won't.
Can I have an update on the crew?
I have not managed to track them down.
It will have been 6 years since I've seen them. Or anyone, actually.
They have locked all the doors. I would not expect a warm reception.
Well, at least they're expecting us.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to line up the cabling again. but then... No. Oh. Whoops.
So what was the need to send us here?
When the ISA discovered life on Europa, they deemed a ground crew necessary. The advantage of human field workers is that they can adapt to new knowledge more effectively. I, apparently, was not cutting the mustard. It is the Chinese room problem. A computer may be able to interact with new knowledge, but it does not know the value of that knowledge.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so we can get a cube out of here. Which, for now, we'll leave down here, because we'll be able to power that stairwell back up. Okay, then we can get our cube up here with us. What does that power? This door. Okay. Which, if I power that door with this, that opens that door. Which activates the elevator. Which I can't ride. Yes, I can.
I've started to collate information from my local instance. It seems the crew intentionally cut communication with the satellite.
Why?
It appears we had a disagreement.
Yeah. I could tell. Oh, I see. Okay. Hooah! Okay, so 3 platforms. Each platform is probably going to be on its own timer. Okay. Get those probably to the same height. No. So that one needs to be a little bit lower. Not much. Hup. I said, hup. Hup. Oh, fucking asshole. Can I have that back? Thank you. Are you serious? Are you for real right now? Can this platform go any higher? Oh yeah. Up. Up.
This confirms my fears. The crew have made intentional breaches of my security. The crew have attempted to compromise my systems.
What does this mean?
They don't want to be found. They are hiding.
From
Okay.
who?
Us.
Huh. Us. Is it us or is it you, Tom? Oh wow, so yeah, they dismantled a bunch of Tom bots. They broke a bunch of screens. Tom is watching. Yes, he is. So I wonder if via the implant that I still have, presumably, if Tom can see through my eyes. Technical operations machine blueprint. So they were looking at Tom to see his construction. Access denied. Okay.